We welcome you to our Community of Infinite Spirit Sunday service. This is Reverend Christine Emmerling. Also presenting is Reverend Sheree Garrett. We thank you for joining us. We will begin with our opening song by Karen Drucker from her album, With Love Anything is Possible, titled, I See Your Light. We shall now have our opening prayer, beginning with the Divine Science Statement of Being. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am, we all are, individualized expressions of God, and ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. So it is. We shall now join our mind and heart, acknowledging the one divine presence, infinite spirit, that is eternally everywhere present. This is a living presence of love. This all-encompassing love surrounds us and is expressing within, through, and as our very being. I am love. This love is uniting us all right here in this moment, heart to heart. And with all life everywhere, both visible and invisible. For we are truly one. One spirit, one mind, one body of God. And so it is. Amen. And now it is my pleasure to turn this over to Reverend Sheree for her reading and meditation.
Good morning. I will be presenting a reading and meditation that my grandmother, Reverend Christine's mother, Reverend Joan Killip, presented on 1/14/1996. The Lord of hosts means the Lord of God, of all manifestation, indicating the omnipotence of the infinite. Jacob is the mind that is awakening to the presence and power of God within him and is beginning to use the power. Jacob means yourself, with your difficulty or problem and all your imperfections. But you are told that if you turn to God, God will respond and wipe away all tears, and there shall be no more crying. Psalms 46:8-9. Come, behold the works of the Lord. He hath made in the earth He maketh wars to cease unto end of the earth, and he breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Here again, we are dealing with symbolic and figurative language. In ancient times, when soldiers were defeated in battle, the conquering army smashed their bows and spears and burned their chariots, which of course rendered them helpless, and they were completely disarmed and out of action. The war he is speaking of takes place in our own mind. The fears, worries, anxieties and hostilities represents a battle in our mind. When we call on God's river of peace and love, our mind is restored, balanced, serenity, and equanimity. The power, the glory, and the wisdom of the infinite presence restores, neutralizes, and obliterates all the negative patterns in our mind. As we exalt God in the midst of us, we will and burn up all the fears, worries, and destructive emotions. Psalms 46:10-11. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Verse 10 is the key to the whole Bible and the key to the health and happiness. You are told to still the wheels of your mind and to relax, let go, and ponder the great truth that when you say, I am, you are announcing the presence of God within you. I am is a nameless name, meaning being life, awareness, self-originating spirit, unconditioned consciousness, life. In the presence of any difficulty, problem, sickness, or lack, the first thing you do is to quiet your mind and realize that I am in you is God, and God knows only the answer and the way out of any trouble. Turn within quietly and realize that the outer condition is an effect, not a cause. Then contemplate that God knows and God cares, and that God is bringing about a divine solution now. The still contemplation that it is God in action now is the quietest and most powerful action of all. Now for the meditation. In her words, I invite you to close your eyes and focus on your breath. As we turn within, we acknowledge our oneness with the presence of God. We each say, I am. I am attuned to the truth of my being, my true spiritual nature, and to all that is right and good for me. Challenges no longer fill me with apprehension. I have faith that the right answer will come, that the right outcome is being made manifest. I now have a clear, faith-filled mind. I have a warm and caring heart. I am free to contribute to the solution of every challenge that could occur concerning myself, a loved one, my country, or my world. I release all that would keep me from being an instrument in bringing forth the solution that are needed. Whenever I am, and in whatever circumstances I may find myself, I place God first in my mind and in my heart. Right now, I renewed awareness of the freeing Christ presence within is taking place. A permeating, uplifting, and renewing joy wells up within me. I walk in a path for my inspiration is from the Christ within. I listen to the still small voice of divine guidance. I am shown the way. I now go forth to do good, to seek peace. I am now prepared for fulfillment in whatever I do. Now I rest in the all-encompassing love of God and become an instrument of divine love and peace. I am renewed through the I am within. I may take a moment of silence. We now give thanks, Father, Mother, God, for this time together. We shall now have a song by Tim Merle from his album Love in Action. Title song, Yet to Come.
There is no better place than here, no better time than now. To start a new experience beyond anything you've known before. The best is yet to come, just look within and feel it in your heart, and let your greater good overflow. We all have our past, we've all made our own mistakes. When we let them be lessons, they help us move forward. No, the best is yet to come. Just look within and feel it in your heart, and let your greater good overflow. visions. We all have our goals and dreams. They are the great divine urge when we believe and let them grow. The best is yet to come. Just look within and feel it in your heart, and let your greater good overflow. The best is yet to come. Just look within and feel it in your heart, and let your greater good overflow. Let your greater good overflow.
I now present Reverend Dr. Christine for her message today.
Well, today we're starting a new 4-part series titled The New World Vision. It is about some of the great men who, with their vision of liberty and equality for all, and their unfailing dedication, helped to bring forth our United States of America. This talk today is inspired by Corinne Helene's book, America's Invisible Guidance, first printed in 1949. Long have I heard reference to our country being formed by men of the Freemasonry order, but didn't understand how deeply rooted our country is based on esoteric teachings and spiritual values. In school, we were taught about the Boston Tea Party as the trigger in rebellion of high taxation from the motherland of England. This is just one reason. But as Helene tells us in her works, that there really is a much deeper mission behind it all. The following is directly from the preface and written by Helene herself. In quotes, with human consciousness having now definitely reached the borderline that divides the seen from the unseen, the form side from the life aspect of being, a treatise such as this dealing with the higher spiritual guidance in our national history will undoubtedly be received with greater interest and better understanding by larger numbers of people than would have been the case even so recently as when these articles first commenced to appear in print. The release of atomic energy literally projected mankind into another dimension of being. This added dimension provides ample room in terms of man's thinking for the hitherto largely ignored invisible government. Moreover, the multiplying chaos in the world and the manifest importance of mere human intellect to solve the endless problems from above where unfailing it may be found. In that fact lies the hope of mankind's future. It is by virtue of such higher guidance that our nation has become the great power that it is today. Yet its task is only just begun. It is its destiny to establish a new order of the ages, not just for our United States, but for the peoples of all the world, to help this nation realize that glorious mission. The invisible government stands ever ready to lend strength and enlightenment to our leaders, asking only that they become faithful transmitters of the plan as the great ones know it and serve it. These articles were undertaken out of the impelling conviction that even a cursory glance at the manner in which higher guidance has made itself manifest again and again in our past history could not fail in this time of grave national crisis to rekindle a new faith and inspire fresh confidence in the presence of powers under whose all-wise guidance our high destiny remains forever secure. End of quotes. As we look out at our nation today, we can see how appropriate this message is for us at this time. It truly has inspired me. As I read through her book, it is as if I was reading about the beginning of spiritual politics. Aristotle wrote, "Freedom is obedience to self-formulated rules. Human liberty stresses self-responsibility." We find that the words New Age and New World Order were used at the time America was becoming a republic, if not before. And at that time, there were people striving to halt the building of our country. These people were of two sides: those who innocently feared change and want to continue with a system that was working because they had attained some degree of material ease or establishment, and those who wanted to keep the masses from discovering freedom, breaking from obedience to someone or thing, and becoming responsible only to their highest deeds and self. Corrine Helene parts the veil, that we may see how our forefathers were divinely inspired to lead us to the point and prepare us to further life as God intended. She has always pointed out how we have been guided and hints at the negative forces that have been counter to the plan, like a shadow becoming so encompassing that they subtly control and dominate us by taking away our personal freedom and our freedom to become responsible. The cure. Only by listening with our heart can we begin to direct and plan our lives. And as Jesus said, only by loving one another shall I know that you are my disciples. Helene says, we can no longer just experience and observe the change, but must become the actual architects of change. It is time to grasp the plan of the master builder, God, to grow into God's image, to bring that plan down into materialization with intelligence, right use of free will, wisdom, love, and purposeful intent. Our founding fathers were these kind of people, architects of change, of the highest, driven by spiritual values and principle. This new continent became a magnet to those souls in the old world that had the courage and initiative to leave their limited conditions and religious and political persecutions to bring forth a commonwealth in which freedom of conscience would be recognized and a greater measure of brotherhood put into actual practice. Such were the ideals of these early pilgrims. One of the outstanding personalities of the early time was the religionist Roger Williams. This pioneer was the son of a wealthy Londoner and a Cambridge scholar. His spirit was keyed to ideals in advance of his time. Coming to America, he made cause with the Puritan settlers and decided that he could best serve this cause by becoming an officiating churchman. Roger Williams lived and worked in close accord with the Native Americans. His fair and just dealings saved many communities from massacre and destruction. The Native Americans trusted and revered him, and any agreement made with him they kept in good faith. His ideals of social justice were extended to the Native Americans. He could not treat them as savages or apply to them another code of conduct. Williams bought land and consecrated it to his high ideals of a new social order. This area he christened Providence, in token of God's watchful care and protection. This was the initial founding of the colony of Rhode Island. All the original colonies were founded for the establishment of civil and religious liberty and for the worship of God. Roger Williams exemplified this noble ideal. Back in the Old World, we have Jane Lead. This woman possessed a high degree of illumination, being both a mystic and an alchemist. She was a disciple of the renowned mystic Jacob Boehme and was a member of the Philadelphian Society, which is founded by the noted English mystic named Portage. She was intuitively spiritually guided by St. John the Beloved, who instructed her much in relation to the Philosopher's Stone and revealed to her many things concerning the lost word of the Masons with its profound occult symbolism. At the time, Lead headed the Boehme group in London. There lived in Germany a man named John Jacob Zimmermann, who, besides being a Lutheran minister, was also a mathematician and an astronomer. Stricken with illness, he was attended by a physician who was a member of the Bohm group. By this means, Zimmerman contacted the deeper esoteric doctrines, which he immediately made his own. He was expelled from the church on the charge that he placed Bohm before the Immortal 12. He continued his studies, which led him to London and study under Lead. In the London Bohm group, a degree was formulated which bore the title, The Right of Perfection. Those who qualified for this degree were eligible to join an esoteric colony which was to set sail for America, bringing with them the ageless wisdom. Zimmerman didn't make it, for he suddenly passed on, but he had a young John Kelpius as his successor, and left him as chief magister of the group. The party of highly advanced individuals sailed from Rotterdam in 1693, bringing with them as their most precious earthly possessions, in addition to the Bible, the complete works of Jacob Bohm, and thus were the teachings of the mysteries first planted on American soil. The group of European mystics who immigrated to our shores in the early days of this country's colonization settled in Pennsylvania. That early settlement of the 17th century grew into the village of Germantown, which became Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. These were pioneers on the double frontiers of both the physical and the spiritual. Many miracles of healing were attributed to them at this time. Thus, the community was an inner center through which spiritual power was released into the new world, particularly during the earliest days of its founding and the critical years of the Revolution. Sometime after this, when it disbanded, most of the occult library passed into the keeping of Benjamin Franklin. Then we have Thomas Paine, who said, "Where freedom is not, there is my country." Without Thomas Paine, there may have never been a successful revolution and the birth of the United States, although, with all his forward-thinking dedication, he was in later life rejected and persecuted for some of his outspoken ideals. A true Aquarian, born January 29, 1737, at Thetford, Norfolk, England. His father, a stern Quaker, and young Thomas, a worshipper of beauty in its every form. He once said, "If Quakers had charge of creation, what a silent, dark-colored creation it would have been. Not a bird would have been permitted to sing, and not a flower to bloom." He ventured to London and devoted himself to philosophical studies. About 1771, he began to lecture upon subjects that were foreign to the concepts of the masses, and therefore extremely unpopular, such as international arbitration, votes for women, single moral code, the crime of slavery, and mercy and humane treatment of animals. It was about 1774 that Paine was arrested in London for declaring that monarchies should be abolished and all people declared free and equal. Paine declared that free men would be good men. Also that economic freedom must inevitably result from political freedom, and social freedom naturally follows religious freedom. Real happiness can only be possible where and when men are permitted to direct their own destiny under a truly democratic government. It is then that mankind, no longer as slaves, but as free men, will inherit the earth, which will then resemble the kingdom of heaven. End of quotes. He also advocated pensions for all persons over 50, saying, use the money now spent on war in this way. It is painful in so-called civilized countries to see old age working itself to death. Pensions are not to be given as matters of grace and favor, but as rights. William Pitt, the English Prime Minister, once said, Paine is right, but if I encourage him, England will soon be in the midst of a bloody revolution. His independent and liberal utterances attracted the attention of Benjamin Franklin, who was then in London and who recognized in Paine a man whose powers were much needed in the new American continent. Together they set sail from London in October 1774. Paine, along with Thomas Jefferson, worked on the Declaration of Independence in close collaboration. And on July 4th, 1776, Congress passed it. Paine started publishing and began writing The Common Sense in January 17, 1776. In 3 months, 100,000 copies had been sold. George Washington said that it had worked a wonderful change in the minds and hearts of men. Soon they were supporting the revolution. Then Jefferson wrote The Crisis. During the times of discouragement and despair, his writings inspired the army. Every morning, George Washington had The Crisis read throughout the army, and soon after came the victories. Paine never accepted a penny for his writings. 1/2 of the proceeds went to the publisher, who took grave risks to publish such revolutionary pamphlets. The other half he gave to pay the mittens for the ill-clad soldiers of Washington. In March 1781, Paine went to France to bring about closer relations between them. France and America were both on a similar path to bring forth a new democracy. The King of France was much impressed with him, and so responded to the plea for help by sending to the colonies 3 ships carrying 2.5 million livres. This assisted Washington greatly in winning the final victory over General Cornwallis, winning the Revolution and the birth of the United States. In 1790, Jefferson wrote The Rights of Man. In it he said, "The barbarity of governments taught men to be barbarous. Teach governments humanity, and the people will soon learn it." Paine was just one of the great destiny men who helped to bring forth this country and the ideals of freedom and equality. I hope that you will be as inspired by this series as I have been. This theme will be continued in the forthcoming weeks as we unfold the deep-rooted spirituality of this country. It is now my pleasure to turn this back over to Reverend Sheree.
Now we have come to the divine, loving, healing, gratitude portion of our service. We will give gratitude for that which was ours to give and for that which we have received. I invite you to say our Community of Infinite Spirit Gratitude Prayer with me now. Divine love, flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for all our blessings that we have in our lives. We take this time to share our blessings with others that you have gracefully provided us to share. We share with open heart, and our heart grows with gratitude by helping others. We see these blessings going out, touching hearts, and creating more gratitude. Thank you for this opportunity to share. And so it is. Amen. Donations to support this uplifting ministry are gratefully received on the donation page of our website, communityofinfinitespirit.org. We will now move into our healing prayer circle. I invite you to imagine us in a circle together, holding hands. Begin to feel the love, this radiating energy of love, flowing hand to hand and heart to heart. A circle of love and light. Let us turn within. I invite you to close your eyes and take in a few slow, deep, conscious breaths. Let us breathe together. As our consciousness is lifted, we come together in conscious healing as the truth of our existence. This is an opportunity to share our conscious awareness and healing vibration with one another and out into the world. As we are receptive to spiritual truth, our consciousness is awakening to the omnipresence. This truth has a vibration of healing for ourselves and others. We are instruments that are attuned to the spirit of wholeness. Today we have opened our consciousness and raised our vibration through worship, prayer, meditation, and the words of spiritual truth. We are now vibrating at a high frequency of love that is in, through, and as our being. This energy is healing for our mind, body, emotions, and spirit. Every cell is one with God, one with love, and is ready to go out into the world to serve all. So take this time and continue to focus on your breath as we breathe together. Now focus on your heart energy, feeling the heart energy expanding with every breath. Feel the love radiating through your body. As the heart energy expands to every cell of your body with every breath, we now send this vibration of the oneness of God out to a family member, a friend, a personal relationship. See them smiling and their heart expanding, the love energy you're sending with every breath. See the love energy expanding and radiating all around them. They are glowing with the pure Christ light, the Christ light that is within their being. The Christ in you sees the Christ in them. This Christ light is radiating and expanding throughout their whole being, mind, body, and soul. Sit with this connection that is being strengthened with every breath. Now release that person knowing that the work is done and will continue to unfold. Let us take this even stronger vibration of love and send it out into the world. Feel the peace of Mother Earth and all who live on her. Feel joy with a smile on your face as you imagine peace and the possibilities of peace on earth. In the silence, we share this expanding vibration with every breath. Thank you for sharing your love and light in this healing prayer circle. You can take a moment each day and share your cultivated vibration of spiritual truth of love with others and the world. Now we will have our closing song. This song is by Karen Drucker from her album I Sing My Love, titled God is My Source.
gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything and every little thing that I need. And I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything, everything I need. God gives me everything, every little thing I need. God gives me, God gives me, God gives me.
Announcements. We invite you to visit our website, communityofinfinitespirit.org, to access the resources we have available. Also access to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Meetup group. You can listen to podcast recordings of our Sunday services and meditations on our website under Healing Words, and our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at Community of Infinite Spirit. This concludes our service. Divine blessings to you and all whom you share your healing love with and around the world. And so it is.